it's one of them things where like, yeah, we're really trying to get over the hump to get this win. It's a build-up. I think everybody can feel it. Like we're getting close. And it's just like staying engaged and staying in like the process of getting better. Like, what did we get better at? All right, let's add on to that now, and then let's go back to where we're not getting, or we're not improving it, and then try to drill it while we got the chance. Like today was a good day to like really drill some of the stuff that we've been, kind of like highlighting, like pace. Like last night our pace was crazy, but the practice before that we actually got to practice, like that's what we worked on for 20 minutes was getting the ball out the net, getting it to the first guy, or whoever grabs it, push it. Like we're trying to pick up our pace. And yesterday was like a really good mental thing for us. Like we see it on film. Okay, it works. Let's build off of it.
It's a semi-related question. What do you do to get your mind off of losing? I mean, is there something you do when you're not here, when you're home, in your day-to-day life?
No, it's the same. It's win or lose. You come in and you work. You get your stuff done. You be a professional, and then you go on to the next game. You try to get it done, and that's kind of our way right now is we got a lot of young dudes. We got a lot of dudes that are trying to find their way in the league. So like, it's all about work at the end of the day. That's what we're trying to do is just put together days of work and have it translate into games.
Watching all you guys kind of interact together, it feels like a healthy locker room too. Maybe some natural friendships in here. Like, could you imagine going through this kind of hardship if you didn't like each other?
Oh man, if we ain't had that chemistry off the court or even on the court, like we all want to see each other do well. It'll be miserable. I've been on teams where they don't like each other and you're losing, and it's it's a weird environment. It's a bad work environment, but that's one thing that I really got to say about this organization is the work environment's crazy. Like you have no choice but to get better if you come here, because like that work environment, and they're like, you got 6 coaches at one basket. If there's one guy working out here, 6 of them coaches will come down here to work out with you, and it's like that right there is encouragement to yourself. It's like they want to see you do better. They want to see you get in the game and be confident in what you're working on.
What does it feel like to have that individual attention, or people to kick some butts if guys see their butts kicked?
Right. I mean, it just shows that they care, man. Like, some places they don't care. If they're gonna let you bump your head, and then when you bump your head, then they're gonna care and tell you what you did wrong. But like before that, they've been watching you. And if they don't tell you right away, that's one thing that they do. They tell you, if you did something wrong, or if they'll let you know, how to correct it and how to like make it work for everybody.
Is that environment coming from Steve, do you think, or is it coming from the success of the last 5 years, or why do you think it's different here?
I think it's a little bit of both. Steve being a player, he understands it. He speaks our language, and then on top of that success and the vet leadership that they've had for the last 5 years, it gives it that. It's got no choice but to that. Like this is a different kind of experience. I feel like even for them, just because they're used to having 5 vets on the floor at once, and maybe a young dude come in and get to play with them. But when you got 4 dudes that are already what play is going to happen before it happens, it makes it a lot easier.
Have we seen D'Angelo's full personality? I'm talking about people outside the rim. Like he was dancing a little bit out here. He seems like more carefree, that he might let on a little bit. Have we seen who he is?
I think so. You're seeing ice right there. That's ice. I think he played like that. I think he played with his, his heart on his shoulder. D'Lo plays with a lot of fun, a lot of takes a lot of wild shots, but like that's what he's here for, is like for those wild shots, because they go in. When they go in, it's a whole momentum change. So like he's just a high volume player and an exciting dude to watch. So like his personality definitely comes out and why he's so good.
I saw you working with Ron over here, and Ron's been voted top assistant coach in the league like a bunch of times. What's it like working with the professor?
Man, he's a guru, man. He sees something in my touch and my shot, and and I've been seeing something in it, and like when you got a guy like that like, hey man, you can shoot the ball. Let's work on getting your base right, so then you can make it when you shoot it. That just leaves something in you, like, all right, like they see something that that I've been waiting for somebody to see. So like, let's get it to translate. Let's drill it. Let's really hone in on, perfecting that craft.
I'm sorry.
Are you at the stage now where you feel like you're totally past the issue you had? For the first couple of weeks, it looked like sometimes you were still trying to get through it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm in full playing shape now. Like I could get up and go. I could do whatever I need to do out there.
Is Ron's big message footwork, kind of as you were kind of suggesting, the base?
Yeah, just base, man. Like after I broke my ankle in college, I was jumping and landing on one a lot, or I go right on right, or like always shielding away from the left leg. Yeah, so like, over the years I just built a habit. So like when I shoot, I would land on one leg, or like fade and land on one leg, like. And so now, like the last year and a half, I just been like working on like literally breaking it down to the most boring degree of jumping and landing on two, jumping and landing on two, and it's like try to wire your brain to do that. That's where we're at now. When that becomes second nature, it's just jumping and landing on two. It's gonna be scary.
You broke your left ankle in college.
How do you account for your blocks being up a little bit this year?
I don't know.
It's been more your game this year because, people are like, well, Willie blocked some shots, but this year it's like kind of been fairly consistent.
I think just being in the right positions. Like now, we're playing a certain defense where the big is always in the paint. It hasn't been like that for me. Always switching out, or I gotta show and get back, and by the time you get back, they're already laying it up, or the guard's taking off. So like. Now I'm always in the paint. I'm always the one trapping the box. So I always get to come over weak side and get a few blocks. Like I always get to go vertical and get a couple blocks. And that's the whole thing. It's the 5-man in the paint. If it's not, then you're probably not gonna get a block because you're out on the floor.
Some guys like Hassan and AD, they get juiced off of blocks. You get juiced off blocks?
I get juiced off steals.
Okay, more than blocks?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not supposed to get steals. So I be trying to get steals. Like I feel like that's a better stat than a block. Most of the times I get a block and it go right back into their hands and they lay it up. Or I get a block and it go right back into their hands and they dunk it. So it's like, all right, I got a block, I got a stat, I guess, but they got a bucket. So with steals, I'm always, it normally translates into a 3 or a dunk. So
like the one, you literally went a dunk.
Yeah. So like that's. I'll be trying to scheme on the steals.
So if you block it and catch it, though, that's effectively a steal.
Is it 2 stats?
You should campaign to change it.
We're gonna call it Cleo.
Yeah, the Cleo.
Hey, I like that.
Willie, on a totally unrelated note, Steve was up here a little bit ago, and he said he used to be in favor of guys that stayed 2 years in college if they went to college, and then he's changed his mind completely. Are you in favor of the league going back to where you can declare after high school and come if you feel like you're ready?
Man, I think that's a personal decision. Like, if you're ready, it's tough up here. You want to go, like, if you're not ready, you're gonna get like lost. And like you can get lost in the G League, you can get lost, on the team and get put on the back burner and like have to like really learn it. Or if you go to college, they're like, oh, he's ready. Or if you go, you stay a couple years, oh, he's ready, he's already matured. Like, that's just how, it's a give or take. Like, if some dudes, their bodies is ready. Like, they don't got kid bodies. They're in high school, but got man bodies already. Like, they're probably ready to go. But, like, it's not like that for a lot of people.
Ron was like that, obviously.
Ron is one of the oldest assistants in the NBA too, and when he was a head coach and when he was coming up, that might have been a different era in basketball, but he has lasted a long time. Like, what do you think about respecting your elders and learning from a guy who's seen a lot of the game?
That's that. He's seen a lot of the game, so, he's probably seen more games than I've been allowed. You know what I'm saying? Like, with that, you gotta respect it because you haven't seen it all. You haven't, played through every scenario. So like, when a guy's like that's telling you, this is what I see. This is, I'm not saying you should do this, but this is what I see. Like that's like okay. Well, let me dive into what you're really talking about because, if he's seeing something, then he probably knows that it's gonna work. Otherwise, he wouldn't say it. Most guys with that knowledge is not gonna say something like that.
Does he say that you remind him of anybody, either from back in the day or now?
Nah, he hasn't said nothing like that.
Thanks.